Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, my name is Ronke, and I love to talk about travel, career, and lifestyle content. If you are interested in those, make sure you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any of the good stuff. In today's video, we will be talking about safety while traveling. Traveling is a great experience, okay? I love traveling, but I do feel that we need to be mindful of safety when we travel. Now, truth be told, whether you're traveling, whether you're at home, safety is always something that we should be mindful of, but I feel that when you're traveling, there's some additional considerations that you might need to place on some things. So in this video, I have a couple of tips to provide that I hope will help you when you're traveling. The very first thing I'm going to recommend is to always share your itinerary with somebody that you're not traveling with. For me, this is very important because you want someone to know where you should be or where you likely will be in case of an emergency. And so sharing the itinerary for me in the past, what I used to do is I would have a Google document. I would literally list out everywhere that I would be staying. And I would even put a rough idea of what I'm planning to do around what times. I would also put contact information for anyone else that I'm traveling with. And if anything changed, I would let whoever it was that I shared it with, whether it was a loved one, I would let them know what the changes are. For me, this is once again very important, especially in case of an emergency. And then additionally for me, one thing that I like to do, especially when I did my solo travel, when I was heading in for the night, I would just send a message to the family group chat, I'm in for the night. Just so they all know I made it back into my house, just in case anything is going on in the city that maybe they might see on the news or something, like just to give them peace of mind that, okay, I'm at least at home. Now, I know the first point I said, share detailed information with family and friends, but this next one, do not share detailed information with anyone that does not need to know it. I am the type of person where if I'm traveling, if someone is giving creepy vibes and they ask me when I'm leaving, I'm gonna tell them, like, I could very well be leaving the next day and I'm gonna tell them I'm leaving in 5 days. If they ask me where I'm staying, I could be staying down the street, I'm gonna tell them I'm staying the city over. Like, I will absolutely not give them any sort of information that they can make use of, that they can try to make. I'm not that person. If you ask me my name, I will probably lie. I will probably tell you some fake name that kind of sounds close enough to my name, so if I hear you calling it, I'm gonna remember, but it's not my name. As a young Black female, for me, I feel like I already have to be a little bit more vigilant, and then especially when I'm traveling alone or if it's just me and one other person, I'm extra vigilant. I just do not believe in leaving down my guard because unfortunately you cannot always trust the intentions of people, or you might not always know what people are capable of. Like, people are crazy out here, y'all. People are like fully crazy out here. You know, as much as I enjoy travel, I want to have fun, I want to get out there, I want to do different things, we gonna be careful who we're telling our business to. Now, the only exception, and I say exception, but the only time when I wouldn't necessarily go out of my way to explicitly lie is if the person already knows where you're staying at. So let's say it's your Airbnb host. Maybe it's someone that's staying at the same resort as you. Maybe it's a shuttle driver that's picking you up from like the airport and taking you to your accommodation. Then there's no point in necessarily lying about specific details that they already know, but I still wouldn't give them additional details that they don't need to know. The next thing I would recommend is to always do your research. You know, do your research before you go. And I feel like most times when people do their research before they go to places or before they travel, it's usually like, what excursions are there? What can I eat? What can I, what can I buy? But also do your research to have an understanding of like the general safety of the area. Is it a very safe area? Is it an area that's kind of safe but close to an area that's not as safe? Is it an area where there's a curfew? Is it an area where maybe they've had a recent uprising of like tourist fueled or related crimes? Have an understanding of what's happening in the area before you go so that you can be better informed to know what you probably should or should not be doing. As part of also doing your research, one of the things that I really like to do when I'm traveling by myself or just with a few people is to download an offline Google Maps. This is extremely helpful so that if you ever are lost or maybe you are in a place where you don't feel so comfortable, you can easily find somewhere else to go that hopefully you will be a little bit more comfortable in. When you're traveling, I also think it's extremely important to be attentive, and being attentive to me should not be dependent on the amount of people that you're traveling with. I'm attentive whether I'm traveling with 2 people or whether I'm traveling with 15. I think that's important because you just want to be aware of your surroundings, right? Sometimes we tend to let our guard down if we're with a lot of people, and that's how people go missing, y'all. Like, not to go left really quick, but that's really how people go missing. So I think it's important to try to be attentive no matter who you're traveling with or how many people you're traveling with. Part of being attentive is also being able to trust your gut feeling. So if there's someone that you meet or somewhere that you find yourself where you don't feel comfortable or you feel something is off, please trust your gut feeling. It is so much better to be hyper vigilant than not vigilant enough. Another aspect of being attentive to me is also being mindful of like how much attention you're drawing to yourself. And you know, there's some places where you go to where you could probably be walking around with your phone, your ear pods, you know, you could walk around kind of flashy and no one is going to do anything, no one's going to say anything. Whereas there's some other places where they will tell you straight up, don't do that unless you want to get robbed. So I feel like it's really important when you're traveling that you are mindful of the attention that you're drawing to yourself in certain surroundings. You don't want to make yourself an easy or likely target for any sort of incident. Finally, be responsible and respectful. With responsibility, there are a lot of things that kind of fall under this. Number one, drink responsibly, obviously. Don't get drunk, don't get blacked out. You know, just make sure that you can still kind of keep aware of yourself. Don't find yourself going all the way out into the boonies or into somewhere that you're not going to be able to get back from easily. Don't go around without a cell phone. Don't go around without a way to like connect with someone or call someone in case of an emergency. Now, when it comes to respect, I think respect is important because you obviously don't want to do anything that's going to aggravate anyone there. And you also don't want to do something that's going to get you in trouble. So just try to be mindful of maybe any cultural taboos or things that you should not be doing, even if you don't know everything about the culture. And going along with that a little bit, if you do understand the language a bit, that can be to your benefit. But if you don't understand the language, it's not the end of the world. It's like you can still go there and have a good time. As I mentioned, for me, those are the specific things that I like to do when I travel to make sure that safety is at the forefront. It doesn't really matter for me what kind of travel experience I'm having, whether it's a road trip, a day trip, maybe a solo trip, anything of the nature that I'm doing. Safety is always at the forefront because for me, I feel that that's how I'm going to be able to have the best possible trip. As always, please make sure to like this video, share with others, and subscribe to my channel for more travel, career, and lifestyle content. See you next time.